We hated to see it, but we do like seeing Carson Wentz talking to us, letting us know he's okay, he's feeling good. Head injuries are scary, and he's appreciating all the love and support, especially for the real ones that were with him through the highs and lows. He says, onward to next year. Big things coming. Believe that. Hashtag fly, Eagles, fly.
That man has an amazing spiritual motor. A lot of people would be punching through drywall this morning and just in a heap of tears. It's an incredible thing he's plugged into.
It's really inspiring. Incredible positivity.
Got to have faith in the future, man. He knows that everything's going to be all right.
Maybe they get some more playmakers back. Will Selva's out in the newsroom. Culver City. Oh, you are not. You have 3 drinks in front of you. What are you doing?
Have another.
Come on, Trace.
3?
Golly.
Wow. Settle down, Schrags. 3. Just have 1 and 3 straws in there, at least. Well, yeah, showing us the reaction there of Carson Wentz, and the Eagles can only shake their heads this morning and think of what might have been had Wentz not suffered a head injury on their second drive. It may not have had any bearing on the final score, but it certainly changed their game plan as Wentz fell to the ground. Jadeveon Clowney hit Wentz. No penalty was called on the play, and game referee Sean Smith saying it wasn't incidental contact after the game. It's yet another season that ended in injury for Wentz, but tight end Zach Ertz says the team stands behind their QB.
Obviously devastated. The guy has battled through everything the past couple of years, and he's the leader of this football team unanimously. Guys love playing for him, no matter what kind of some of the people say. Guys love playing for him, and he's the leader of this football team. He's carried us through so much turmoil this year, and he never bats an eye. He never gets frustrated. He just keeps pressing, and I mean, that's the ultimate sign of a leader. He's doing everything he can to put us in a position to win. The last 4 weeks, just really putting the team on his back and saying, hey, we're going to get to the postseason, and I'm going to take us there. And that's what he did. And so I'm extremely proud of the road that we've been on, and we just came up short today.
A lot of support there for Wentz in the locker room. Meanwhile, Derrick Henry running all over the Patriots defense in Saturday's wild card win. Henry rushing for more than 100 yards for the 6th time in his last 7 games. And next up for the Titans is a pretty good offense in its own right. The Ravens, led by likely the future MVP Lamar Jackson. And head coach Mike Vrabel knows it's no easy task slowing down that Baltimore offense.
Offensively, they have the best player in the league. It was impossible to tackle. Great scheme. It's almost, I think on any other day it'd be fun to watch, but not when you're trying to prepare for them and stop them. You know, Greg does a fantastic job. They're well coached. They're physical. It's what the Baltimore Ravens have always been, especially with John. Fundamentally sound, and they're good in the kicking game.
And you can say the same thing about Tennessee with Derrick Henry there in their backfield. Henry making tacklers look like Jeff Van Gundy trying to get Alonzo Mourning there on his ankle. So either way, they're pretty good there in Tennessee as well with those Tennessee Titans and Derrick Henry doing his thing.
Just dragging Van Gundy.
Somebody needed to stop Zoe. He and Grandma were going to kill each other. I mean, those are big punches. Thank you, Will.
That
was crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. Nobody got kicked out back in the day.
No, just keep playing.
Not even a flat foul.
Keep playing, fellas.
Tweet us your favorite moments at GMFB. Will we appreciate you? Let's check out one of the great divisional week moments presented by the Home Depot. Let's kick it back to 1994. AFC divisional round, January 16th. Montana and the Chiefs go into Houston as big-time underdogs. Hey, Marcus Allen sealing the game with a 21-yard touchdown run in the 4th quarter. Chiefs go on to upset the Oilers. The Oilers 28-20 and advance to the AFC Championship. Guys, thoughts?
Is that Big Dan Saliamoa? Who is that?
I think I saw a Grunhard sighting. That's definitely Neil Smith.
Oh, man.
That was Montana's great, I'm still here moment, that whole run right there.
Wait,
The
didn't we just
49ers.
talk about Brady leaving? I remember when Montana went to the Chiefs and it was like, oh man, old Montana, it's over. There's no way he'll have success.
And guess who came with him? Marcus Allen. He found another guy to run with him. And you know what? They went into the Astrodome where no one was winning that whole year, and they beat him. So, that was an awesome run for Joe Montana as a Chief.
How much do we miss the Oilers in those uniforms?
I know.
J.J. Watt has said many times, I wish we could wear them, but it's a different franchise. It's not the Texans. They moved, and you can't, so they can't, but they're so good.
Let's look ahead to the 2020 Texans-Chiefs matchup. Does Deshaun Watson have enough magic left to go into Arrowhead and beat Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, with Deshaun Watson, he has this ability to stay focused throughout the game. I mean, we kind of joked a little bit that Josh Allen had a little bit of a meltdown. Phenomenal season, even played well in this game. The way he started catching that touchdown, then running for almost 100 yards. You thought to yourself that Josh Allen and the Bills were going to beat up the Texans. Something about Deshaun. I remember talking to Bill O'Brien a couple of weeks ago when I went and called the Houston Texans game versus the Bucs, and I said, what is it about Deshaun Watson that makes him special? He said, he's like this, Nate. Never up, never down. He's like this, as cool as ever. And it kind of reminds me of Leonardo DiCaprio on The Departed when he said, craziness going on around me.
My hand does not shake.
My hand does not shake, never. And that's Deshaun. Like, it's third quarter, team needed to play. He takes it, runs over individuals.
William Costigan.
William Costigan. And this play right here pretty much defines it. So, yeah, he has what it takes, but they're definitely going to need all hands on deck. I don't know what's going on with Will Fuller. If they have Will Fuller, that's like having Tyreek Hill for the Chiefs. We'll see if they have everybody healthy at his disposal.
They beat them there before, this year.
They sign up to use their weapon. It's just, let me just take a second. It's crazy to me that we just saw the two greatest passers of all time losing the wild card at home to 6 seeds. And I know that the whole passing of the torch thing seems a little trite, but Breeze and Brady, Rivers, Ben, Eli, even Matt Ryan, all gone. That's why I'm just thinking about these Mahomes and Watson things. If you look at the quarterbacks left, like, Russell Wilson at 31 is like the oldest dude, him and Rodgers, and they play each other. So Watson, Mahomes, Lamar, Jimmy G, Cousins are all of these guys. We're going to talk about this game all week. Of course, Houston has the firepower. I happen to think that right now the Chiefs are the best team in the AFC, and we have a little bias toward teams we saw this past weekend, don't you think?
Yeah, and Kansas City is not the same Kansas City that played the Texans earlier this season. They've rattled off all these victories, and the defense has come alive. The one X factor here I think is fascinating is Tyrann Mathieu. He's the Honey Badger. He was with the Texans. Now he comes to the Chiefs. Yeah. He knows those guys on the other side of the field.
Good point.
He could empty the bucket and say, hey, guys, this is what they do. This is what they're going to be doing. And this is exactly what Deshaun Watson likes and doesn't like. I think the Chiefs got the biggest win of the weekend seeing Belichick and Brady out of the playoff picture. That's a team that has haunted them the past few years. And Andy Reid specifically has been haunted by Bill Belichick. Right. You get him out of there, it's wide open for Andy.
They ran the ball 41 times last time they went to Arrowhead in one time of possession. That's what they did and dominated. I know Damian Williams has turned up and they started running, but if they can dominate that ball, and this might come down to Carlos Hyde in the divisional round in that matchup. So keep your eye on that. We'll have all of your storylines and ageism takes.
Yeah. We fall in love with these teams that played last week. Don't forget, the best teams just had a week off. Don't forget.
Jason again. So let's take a look back and choose the moment that defined it all. We're doing this all over again.
Okay.
Clean slate, goodbye regular season. We need to induct our first image into the postseason Hall of Fame. Select one picture, one moment, snapshot that defined the week of football in your world.
It was all about this guy. I'm wearing the jersey because I'm wearing the jersey of the guy who won the weekend. It was all about what Cousins couldn't do his entire career. Kirk Cousins went into the Superdome, a house of horrors for every quarterback, and came out victorious. He outplayed Drew Brees, and he made big plays. That was the thing. It wasn't like they were doing draw plays and getting this thing. He had to pass the ball to win this game. That play to Thielen was huge. There's another third down pass to Thielen. That is my image.
I love it.
That's to sum up the entire. You know what he said? He said, "You like that? It was perfect." Cousins slayed a lot of dragons, both for the Vikings fan base, but also for him personally. Cousins is my lasting image of the weekend.
You're wearing the 8.
All right.
In the 8.
Okay. All right. Well, for me, I'm going to go with an individual who I feel like is looked over. Now, despite leading the league in rushing, I feel like people don't talk about Derrick Henry when it comes to being one of the best running backs in football. Well, he has the rushing title, and he's picked up where he left off, and he was unbelievable. Without Derrick Henry having the game that he had, they don't beat the Patriots. So I'm going with my lasting image of this past weekend, Mr. Derrick Henry running through an arm tackle. And let me tell you, DBs, linebackers, anybody else who wants to tackle him, if you reach, he is going to teach. And most of the time, he is going to run you over.
You're not wrong.
Shuttlesworth?
Yeah.
There's a couple plays every entire season. You only get a couple where when you're watching at home, you audibly scream in your living room. And we saw one in Houston versus Buffalo. When we do the NFL 200 celebration, when we're in season 104 of the show, we will show Deshaun Watson spinning out of the Buffalo Bills sandwich. Impossible to find. Logic, football, physics, everything. You cannot get a cooler play in a wild card weekend than this. And they were from the jaws of victory, their defeat, whatever the old phrase is. That was it right there.
It looks like a tornado.
It's a wrap. It's over.
It's literally a wrap.
I screamed like a Girl Scout in my house, and it was over. I can't believe that happened. That's mine.
He's literally wrapped up.
I know.
Season 104, huh?
That's it.
Should we also start getting Botox now? What are we doing? You want to last?
I already did, Adams. I'm way down that road.
All right, I'm going to pick what I thought was a huge upset and a huge game changer for the history of his career. He wrote it and changed it himself.